I was born right here in Sanford on the 10th of November in 1901. I was born at home at the corner of 10th Street and Pine Avenue. My mama and papa were Betsy and Mr. Williams. My mama and papa attended and worked in and worked for St. James Church. I had 6 siblings, and they made sure we attended and worked for and worked with St. James. You may call me Mother Doris. 34 years before I was born, in 1867, a group of former slaves gathered together in a little town called Mellonville. 1867. That's 10 years before Sanford was Sanford. That little group organized St. James. They constructed a little lean-to, they called it a bush arbor. A bush arbor is a crude structure made of mostly materials at hand, palmetto fronds and sticks and logs. But that's what they used to keep themselves out of the inclement weather so they could worship the Lord. They were dedicated folk. They worshiped there for years, and the congregation continued to grow as the town seemed to disappear, because in 1877 General Henry Sanford was there with his Florida Colonization Land Company, and he was selling land. That congregation bought land from him, and they bought the property at 9th Street and Cypress Avenue in 1880. Do you know that our first deed was printed in England? The congregation did not want to go into debt any more than they had because of the land. So they constructed another bush arbor. And they used that bush arbor until 1881, when they were able to construct a small frame church for the congregation. The first pastor at that time was Samuel Coleman, Reverend Samuel Coleman. He stayed with St. James from 1880 to 1884. We were part of the East Florida Conference, and we were named St. James Mission. In 1884, we got our second pastor, Reverend Tedious T. Gaines. Our congregation had also grown, and he was responsible for organizing a new building, and we got a larger frame church. Now, Reverend Tedious Gaines, he entertained the South Florida Conference, the South Florida Annual Conference, and they named us St. James Chapel. Reverend Gaines stayed with us until 1906, 1884 to 1906. Now, the congregation was continuing to grow. Our new pastor was Reverend Brown. When Reverend Brown came, he was such a charismatic man. He was wonderful, and our congregation grew from 98 to 250. And we sure needed a new sanctuary, and it fell to Reverend Brown. He called on a black architect by the name of Prince W. Spears. He had designed and built some homes in the area and a couple of other churches. They worked out. They started construction when I was 9 years old. Now, you know how nosy a 9-year-old can be. I was in and out and up and down and all around. Sadly, Reverend Brown passed away in January 1912. They didn't finish the church until the next year when I was 12 years old. Now I need you to get a sense of how exciting it must have been to dedicate a brand new church. Oh my goodness. Everybody comes, you know, bishops, elders, pastors, missionaries, scores of missionaries, all in white. Oh my, oh my. And it's customary when this type of thing happens to have a procession into the building. Well, the procession is going by. I'm just standing there with my mom and my brothers and sisters. And my daddy walks by me, and do you know what he did? He took my hand. He took my hand. I walked into the brand new sanctuary at my papa's side. Oh my goodness, I want you to know those stained glass windows were so beautiful. Oh, they were beautiful. And the two lights, electric lights, two of them, they were burning as bright as the sun. It was so bright in there. Oh, I just want you to understand how wonderful it was. You know, when it's dedicated that way, festivities can last for days and days. Choirs singing, the music, the preaching, oh my. My daddy said to me, he said, Doris, be a good girl. And I remember what he said. I tell all the children at the church, be good. Honor your parents in the Lord. Because of the 5th commandment. You know the 5th commandment. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. My papa said I would live a long time. I tried to be a good girl. Don't forget, it's the only commandment we promise. You do that, and you'll be here a good long time. I need to tell you that God indeed keeps his promises. Miss Doris passed away in 1994. 3 days, November the 13th, 3 days after her 94th birthday. He indeed keeps his promises. Don't forget, be good, little boys and girls.